Chosen one, what I reveal to you now is not just a message. It is a sacred warning, forged in the fire of heaven's urgency, wrapped in the protective mantle of divine grace. This word is meant to ignite your spirit, to stir something deep within you, a response so profound that it calls you into a higher level of obedience, focus, and vigilance like never before. This is not a casual utterance. This is an urgent summons, an invitation to open your eyes and your heart to what is unfolding in the unseen realms. Do not skip this moment. Do not scroll away. Pay attention, because heaven is speaking to you right now, and this moment is unlike any other. You did not stumble upon this message by chance. There is a divine reason you are hearing this word today. The Spirit of God has marked this time for you, and what is coming in the spirit realm is far more significant than the ordinary flow of life. A storm is stirring. The winds of change are rising, and this is a call to action, an invitation to prepare and to stay deeply aligned with God's will. Hear this, chosen one. You are being warned, but not to scare you. You are being warned to protect you. What I am about to say carries weight, and your response will determine the path that unfolds before you. You are being given a precious opportunity to stand firm, to walk with God in a time of spiritual testing. But the choice is yours. How you respond will shape the course of what is to come. The Lord is revealing something critical to you. Avoid July 9th and 10th. Yes, those dates are spiritually charged. They are marked in the heavenly realms, and they are intensely watched in the unseen world. These are not just ordinary days on the calendar. These days are set apart, chosen for a reason, and they will carry weight in the spirit. July 9th and 10th are days of testing, days where hidden spiritual warfare will surface. Only those who remain steadfast in prayer, wrapped in obedience, and walking with spiritual awareness will be able to navigate through this period safely. This is no time to be casual, chosen one. These days demand your focus. They call for intentional action, a response from you that reflects your deep awareness of the divine timing unfolding before you. Do not take these days lightly. Do not let complacency cloud your vision. The Lord is not revealing this to you to invoke fear, but to prepare you for what lies ahead. If you ignore this warning, if you disregard this message, you may inadvertently open doors that were meant to remain shut. This is a time of divine seriousness, and you must act with caution and clarity. These dates, July 9th and 10th, are spiritually significant. They carry weight in the unseen realm, and how you approach them will determine how you emerge on the other side. Now, chosen one, hear me clearly. This is not a time for fear, but a time to be fortified in faith. The divine protection that awaits you during these charged days is yours for the taking, but it will only be activated through your obedience. You must choose to align yourself with God's will, to submit to His plan for your life, and to walk in the protection that He has already prepared for you. This is a time to prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit. God is not calling you to act in fear, but to rise in spiritual maturity. The gravity of this moment cannot be overstated. These 2 days, July 9th and 10th, are not just dates on a calendar. They are divinely appointed moments that will alter the course of your life depending on how you respond. Heaven has spoken, and it is your choice to heed this warning with obedience and vigilance. Your response to these spiritually marked days will shape the trajectory of what follows. You must remain vigilant, stay aligned, and embrace the divine covering that is available to you. This is the time to be intentional. This is not a time for wandering or distraction. It is not a time for casual engagement with your faith. No, this moment demands that you stay fully awake and aware. The choices you make now, in this spiritually sensitive period, will echo into your future, for these days carry the power to change everything. Your obedience during this time will set the stage for the blessings or challenges that follow. The enemy will try to distract you, to pull you away from the divine alignment you need to remain in during these days. But you must not let that happen. Stay focused, stay prayerful, stay connected to God. These days are days of spiritual significance. Do not treat them lightly. You are being called into a time of heightened spiritual awareness. The spiritual gates that open on these days are portals of destiny, and how you respond will determine whether you step into your divine purpose or find yourself caught in the whirlwind of unpreparedness. You must remain close to God during this time, chosen one. Stay in prayer, fast, and shut down the distractions of the world around you. Allow this sacred moment to refine your spirit, to tune you into the frequency of heaven's voice. Now, more than ever, you need to be aligned with the divine will. Do not be caught off guard. The enemy will attempt to steer you away from the path, to distract you from the truth. But you must remain steadfast, rooted in the knowledge that these days are set apart by God, and they are leading you toward your destiny. Keep reading, chosen one, for the revelation you receive in this moment will set the course for the days ahead. You are not being called to wander. You are being called to stay focused, stay aligned, and prepare for what is to come. The time of testing is here, but so is the time of divine breakthrough. You must choose how to respond. Will you heed the warning and remain steadfast in obedience, or will you let the distractions of the world pull you off course? The choice is yours, but know this: God's protection is with those who remain faithful. His covering is with those who align with His will. The question is not whether He will protect you, but whether you will choose to be covered by Him. Will you choose to remain under His wings, or will you wander out into exposed territory? These are the days where the battle will be won or lost in the spiritual realm. Remain focused. Remain prayerful. These days, July 9th and 10th, carry profound spiritual significance. Heaven is calling you to stay alert. The storm is brewing, but with God's protection, you will not be swept away. Stand firm. Stay under His shadow and walk in His will. These days are not ordinary. They are spiritually marked, and your response will shape the future. Keep reading, chosen one. This is your call to action. Your obedience will carry you through. You are being prepared for what is ahead. Chosen one, listen closely, for the hour is upon you. Heaven is speaking, and the call is not one to be ignored. Stay vigilant, for the spiritual atmosphere is shifting. The heavens are stirring, and you, chosen to walk in divine purpose, must be awake, alert, and ready. The divine alarm bells are ringing, and they are ringing for a reason. This is not a time for passivity. This is a time for spiritual alertness, for your response now will echo throughout the course of your journey. Do not skip this moment. Do not turn away. Pay attention, for what I am about to share is not just a warning, it is a sacred call to action. The Spirit of God is urging you to remain close, to stay in His protection, to dwell in His presence with unwavering faith. July 9th and 10th are not just dates on a calendar. No, chosen one. These are days written in the unseen realms. These are divinely marked moments, moments that have the power to shape your future in ways beyond your understanding. The forces at play during these days are not merely of this earth. These are days when the battle between heaven and hell intensifies. These are spiritually charged days when the realms of light and darkness collide, and your response will determine which side of the battle you align with. The question is not if the forces will move, but how you will move in response to them. Will you rise in spiritual awareness, prepared to face the challenge, or will you falter under the weight of distraction and complacency? Do not scroll away, chosen one. Do not let this moment pass by unnoticed. These days are filled with both immense power and profound potential. They carry the weight of spiritual warfare, yes, but they also hold the keys to blessings and breakthroughs, depending entirely on your alignment. Heaven's plans are in motion, and they are specifically timed to meet the course of your life. These moments, like portals, are filled with divine opportunities. Opportunities that will either lead you into the fullness of your calling or leave you wandering in spiritual confusion, depending on how you respond. The weight of these days cannot be underestimated. They are divinely appointed, and their significance is far beyond what you may perceive with your natural eyes. July 9th and 10th are not ordinary days, and your response to them will shape the trajectory of your journey. These days will either serve as a time of breakthrough or a season of delay, depending on how closely you follow the divine instructions that are being given to you. You must understand, chosen one, that these days are more than just dates. They are spiritual thresholds. A threshold is a place of crossing, a point of transition. What you choose during these days will determine the course of what follows. Will you stand firm in your faith, aligned with God's purpose for your life? Or will you be swept away by the distractions and the temptations that will surely rise? The choice is yours. These moments are powerful, and they demand your full spiritual awareness. These are days when heaven's forces are aligned to protect you. But that protection is not automatic. It is activated by your obedience, your willingness to remain aligned with God's will. If you stay in tune with His instructions, the victory will be yours. The divine protection that surrounds you is real, chosen one, but it requires your participation. You must stay under the shadow of the Almighty, in full submission to His will. You must stay vigilant in prayer, in worship, and in spiritual focus. There is no time to waste, no time to be casual in your walk. These days are filled with opportunities for breakthrough, but they also carry the potential for delay if you are not spiritually alert. Every moment in these days is charged with divine potential. Every decision you make will either lead you closer to your purpose or set you back in the wilderness of confusion and delay. The power of these days lies in how you choose to respond to the voice of God, to the guidance of the Holy Spirit. So, chosen one, listen carefully. Do not allow yourself to be distracted. This is a season of intense spiritual activity. It is a time for you to remain in alignment with God's plan, to stay grounded in His truth, and to rise above the distractions that will try to pull you off course. These days are marked for a reason. Heaven has set aside this time to test your faith, to refine your character, and to position you for the blessings that are coming. Do not let the enemy cause you to waver. The forces of darkness will try to distract you, to confuse you, to make you doubt. But you are not alone. The Spirit of the Lord is with you, guiding you, empowering you. As you remain in alignment with God's will, you will be equipped to stand firm against the storms that may arise. Keep reading until the end, chosen one. The battle ahead may seem daunting, but you have already been equipped for this moment. Heaven is on your side. God has given you everything you need to walk through these spiritually charged days in victory. The question is not whether you can withstand the challenges that will come. It is whether you will stay vigilant, whether you will stay focused, and whether you will remain in the protection of the Almighty. These days are not to be treated lightly. They are divinely significant, filled with the power to either accelerate your journey or cause you to miss the opportunities that God has set before you. Heaven has marked this time for you, chosen one. The forces are in place, but you must align yourself with the divine will in order to access the blessings that await. You are being called into a time of deep spiritual alertness. This is not a time to be passive, to drift through life. This is a time to take action, to stay in tune with God's voice, and to move in obedience to His instructions. Your actions during these days will either propel you into the fullness of your calling or lead you into spiritual stagnation. Stay close to God, chosen one. Stay in prayer, stay in His word, and stay under His covering. The storms may rise, but if you remain in alignment with God, you will not be moved. The victory is already yours, but it is up to you to walk in it. Take a moment now to reflect on this truth. Know that you are not alone in this journey. Heaven has already marked the way for you, and your obedience will unlock the doors that God has set before you. If you feel the truth of these words stirring in your soul, I invite you to anchor this divine energy into your life. Comment 777 or I am ready to declare your alignment with God's will. Let the universe hear your declaration. You are walking into a season of divine breakthrough. Stay alert, stay focused, and stay in God's protection. The victory is already written. Now walk in it. Chosen one, hear the divine whisper that is reverberating through the very fabric of your being. What I am about to share is not to be taken lightly, for it carries the weight of heaven's purpose, a message so profound that it demands your full attention. The time has come for you to rise, to respond to a call that has been placed upon your life, a call that will lead you to a season of testing. But do not fear this test, for it is not one designed for your destruction. No, this is a test meant for your elevation, for your spiritual ascension. The very foundation of your destiny is being shaped right now, and how you respond to this moment will determine whether you step into the fullness of your purpose or wander in a season of delay. Do not turn your head away. Do not scroll away from this sacred moment. Pay attention, for what lies ahead is far more significant than the ordinary flow of life. The divine blueprint that God has for you is unfolding, and the spiritual temperature is rising. Heaven is aligning itself with your journey, and you are being invited to step into a new realm of purpose. But this invitation requires more than just passive acceptance. It requires action, and it demands obedience. July 9th and 10th, Chosen One, are days that have been spiritually marked. These are not just ordinary days on a calendar. They are divinely appointed moments that will shape the course of your life. They are spiritually significant, laden with opportunities for growth, for breakthrough, and for the manifestation of the divine promises that have been set aside for you. These days are gateways, portals between where you are and where you are destined to be. The question is not whether God is speaking. The question is whether you will listen. Will you hear the voice of God in the midst of the noise? Will you remain aligned with His divine purpose, or will you allow the distractions of the world to pull you away? The days ahead are critical, and your response will set the tone for the season that follows. These are moments of divine calibration, where the alignment of your spirit, your actions, and your heart will determine what God is able to do in your life. Your obedience, Chosen One, will unlock the doors to the promises that have been waiting for you. This is not a time to be passive in your faith. This is not the moment to let distractions, fears, or the pull of the world sway your focus. The forces of heaven are calling you to stand firm, to stay in alignment with the divine will. These days are not ordinary, and they will not pass by without consequence. Each decision you make, each action you take, will reverberate throughout the course of your life. This is a spiritual checkpoint, a defining moment where your obedience will determine the fullness of what God has in store for you. Do not let this moment slip by. The spiritual forces at work are powerful, and the decisions you make in these spiritually charged days will set the stage for what is to come. Heaven has marked these moments, but they require your response. Your obedience, Chosen One, is not just a passive waiting for things to unfold. No, your obedience is an active force, a spiritual weapon that will propel you into the destiny God has ordained for you. Take heed, Chosen One, for this is no time for hesitation. The pressure may rise, the distractions may intensify, but you must remain rooted in your faith. Just as the earth remains steady beneath your feet, you must remain firm in your spiritual alignment. These are not the days for wavering or second-guessing. This is the time for spiritual clarity, for unwavering trust in God's plan. Your obedience will not only determine what you receive, it will determine who you become. These days are not simply about receiving blessings. They are about becoming the person capable of holding the weight of those blessings. God is refining you in this moment, shaping your spirit, fortifying your heart for the days ahead. And that shaping will only be completed through your obedience. Will you follow His call, chosen one? Will you listen, even when the path ahead seems unclear? Will you stay in alignment with His divine will, even when it feels as though the world is pulling you in 1,000 directions? The choice is yours. But know this, the decisions you make now will echo throughout your life. This is a spiritual crossroads. The path you choose in these moments will determine the trajectory of your destiny. Do not turn away. Do not waver in your faith. Now is the time to stand firm in the promise of God, to trust that He is leading you, even when the way is unclear. You are being called to a higher place, a deeper level of obedience. And through your faithfulness, through your willingness to follow His guidance, you will walk into the fullness of the purpose He has prepared for you. The Spirit of God is moving, chosen one, and He is calling you to move with Him. You are not alone in this moment. Heaven is with you, and the angels are surrounding you, waiting for you to step into the fullness of your calling. But they can only accompany you if you stay aligned with the will of the Father. The power of heaven moves in response to your obedience. These days, July 9th and 10th, are critical. They are spiritually charged, and your choices will carry weight in the Spirit. This is not just about what happens on these days. It is about what you are being prepared for. The obedience you display now will open doors to a future of divine acceleration, of spiritual breakthrough, and of the manifestation of God's promises. But that future is dependent on your obedience today. You are being refined, chosen one, and refinement is never easy. It requires strength, it requires discipline, and it requires faith. But it is through this process that you are being shaped into the person who can carry the weight of glory that God has destined for you. This is not a moment to shrink back. This is a time to rise, to embrace the challenge, and to walk boldly into your divine destiny. Stay aligned, chosen one. Keep your eyes fixed on heaven's purpose for your life. These are the days of spiritual calibration, and your response will determine what is to come. Heaven is calling you to obedience, calling you to trust, and calling you to step into the fullness of your calling. You are on the verge of something great, and your obedience today will open the doors to what God has already prepared for you. Take a moment now, chosen one, to reflect on the weight of this calling. Your soul vibrates with the divine frequency of purpose. You are here for a reason, and the Spirit of God is moving in your life right now. Your response is crucial. Will you align yourself with His will, or will you allow the distractions of the world to pull you away? The time to decide is now. Stay in alignment, stay focused, and stay obedient. The victory is already written, chosen one. Walk in it. Chosen one, take a deep breath. For what I am about to speak is more than just guidance. It is a profound truth, a call to stand firm in the face of the unknown. God is preparing you for something far greater than you can yet understand. This moment in time is not just a passing event. It is a spiritual crossroads, a divine appointment that will set the trajectory of your journey in ways you have not yet fully grasped. As the days of July 9th and 10th approach, you are being called to trust in God's timing, even when it doesn't make sense to your earthly understanding. Do not skip this moment, chosen one. Do not scroll past these words. Pay attention, because what lies ahead is not for the faint of heart. God is speaking to you, calling you into alignment with His divine will. But in order to step into the fullness of your destiny, you must trust His timing. Even when the path ahead seems unclear, these days are spiritually significant, and how you respond to them will determine the breakthroughs that manifest in your spiritual, physical, and financial life. Trust, chosen one. Trust even when the natural world pulls you into confusion. Trust when the distractions of life seem louder than the quiet voice of God. Trust when your mind wants to rush ahead, when your heart feels unsure, and when you cannot see the end from the beginning. These are the moments when your obedience will be tested, and your obedience will unlock doors to blessings that cannot be imagined with the human mind. Think back to the sacred pages of Scripture, chosen one. Think of the night when the Israelites stood in their homes, marked by the blood of the Lamb. This moment was not ordinary, nor was it fleeting. It was a moment of destiny-altering significance, a moment when obedience would either bring deliverance or devastation. The Lord had given clear instructions. Those who obeyed, who marked their doors with the Lamb's blood, would be spared. And when the angel of death passed over, they were protected. But those who ignored the warning, those who chose not to align themselves with God's will, were met with calamity. Do you see it, chosen one? The blood on the doorposts was not just a symbol. It was an act of obedience that secured protection from what was to come. The protection that God offers is not passive. It requires your active participation, your willingness to surrender your will to His, and your obedience to His guidance. It is in the obedience that the blessing lies. It is in the act of trusting Him, even when the storm rages, that you are shielded from harm. Now, in this divine moment, God is calling you to a similar place of trust. These days, July 9th and 10th, are not to be taken lightly. They are spiritually charged, and your response will either lead you to a place of protection and breakthrough, or to a place of unnecessary struggle. Your obedience now will be like that blood on the doorposts, a divine covering that will shield you from the forces that are set to rise. You must remain faithful, chosen one, and trust that God is guiding you through these spiritually charged days. Do not waver in your trust. This is not a time for doubt. It is a time for deep faith. You must stand firm, even when the world tries to pull you off course. Every decision you make in this season is amplified in the Spirit. Heaven is watching, waiting to respond to your obedience. Your choices now will set in motion divine blessings, protection, and alignment with the destiny God has planned for you. Imagine, chosen one, that every moment during this season is a sacred decision. Each step you take in obedience is like a step in the path towards spiritual breakthrough. You may not see the full picture now, but trust this. God has already gone before you, and His hand is guiding every step you take. You are not walking in uncertainty. You are walking in divine purpose, even if the way seems unclear. When you trust, when you surrender fully to God's plan, you allow the divine to take the reins and lead you to places you could never have imagined on your own. Now I ask you, chosen one, will you trust even when the way is difficult? Will you remain obedient, even when it feels as though everything is pressing against you? Will you choose to stay in alignment with God's will, even when the road is hard to see? Trust, and you will be led through these days of spiritual significance into a season of divine breakthrough. Take a moment and reflect on this truth, chosen one. Your obedience today will change everything. As you trust in God's perfect timing, you will find yourself stepping into the fullness of His promises. It is not a matter of if the blessing will come. It is a matter of when. And that when is now, in this moment, as you choose to trust and obey. Your faith will move mountains. Your trust will unlock doors. The spiritual temperature is rising, and heaven is waiting for you to step into the promise that has already been prepared for you. Feel the weight of this truth in your soul. This is your moment to rise, to stand in unwavering faith, and to walk through these spiritually charged days with full trust in the divine guidance that is unfolding before you. The blood of the Lamb has already marked you, chosen one. The covering of heaven is upon you. Now, step forward in obedience, knowing that everything you need to succeed is already provided. Stay with me, chosen one, for what I am about to reveal next will solidify your understanding of what is coming. The divine blueprint is unfolding, and your role in it is pivotal. Do not miss this moment. Keep reading, keep listening, because this is the time of breakthrough, the time when your obedience will lead to the fullness of God's plan for your life. If you feel the power of this truth awakening in your spirit, comment 777 or I am ready to anchor this divine energy into your life. Know that the path you are on is already set in heaven, and your obedience will guide you toward the victory that awaits. Trust in His timing, chosen one, and walk in the fullness of your divine purpose. The best is yet to come. Chosen one, hear me now, for the time has come to align your spirit with the divine will of God. The next few days are not mere waiting days. They are days of testing. These are days where the very foundation of your spiritual journey will be tested. They are days where your alignment with the divine will be crucial for the path you will walk. Do not take this lightly. Do not scroll past. Pay attention, for these days hold power beyond what you can yet understand. This is not a time for passivity. It is not a time to entertain distractions, doubts, or the noise of the world. No, chosen one. This is a time to stay under the shadow of the Almighty, to remain steadfast in your faith, and to move forward with focus and vigilance. Just as God commanded the Israelites to stay in their homes during the Passover, He is now calling you to do the same. You are being called to stay in spiritual alignment, to remain within the protection of His grace and power. Stay under His covering, chosen one. Do not wander away. Do not step outside the safety of His divine shelter. The protection of God is not passive. It is not a shield that simply falls into place without your active participation. His protection is a sacred covenant that requires your intentional commitment to dwell in His presence. You must actively choose to stay covered. You must intentionally remain within His refuge. This is not a time to be casual, not a time to allow spiritual laziness to take root in your soul. These days are critical. Your focus must be sharp, your spirit must be vigilant, and your obedience must be unwavering. The divine protection that surrounds you is powerful, but it is only activated when you remain aligned with God's will. Do not be deceived, chosen one. God's protection does not simply fall upon you without your conscious effort to remain in His will. Just as a warrior must stay in battle formation, you must stay in spiritual formation. You must guard your heart, your mind, and your actions, because the forces around you are strong, and only those who remain vigilant in the Spirit will be preserved. Pay attention, chosen one. You are called to protect your thoughts. You are called to guard your mind from the distractions and fears that will rise during this time. The enemy will attempt to place doubt in your heart, to make you question your purpose, to pull you away from the clarity of God's voice. But you must not allow these distractions to enter. Guard your mind. Keep it fixed on the truth of God's promises. Do not let fear take root. Do not let worry cloud your vision. This is a time to be mindful of your thoughts, chosen one. Because the enemy knows that if he can control your thoughts, he can control your actions. Keep your mind centered on God's word. Surround yourself with truth and meditate on the promises that He has spoken over your life. Let no fear, no distraction, no temptation pull you away from the peace that only comes from being centered in His will. But it is not only your thoughts that must be guarded. It is your actions as well. You must move only when God speaks. You must walk in obedience, even when the way is unclear, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. God's instructions are not to be taken lightly. When He speaks, you must act. When He calls you to move, you must move. And when He calls you to wait, you must wait. This is not the time for hesitation. It is not the time for acting out of fear, anxiety, or impatience. The enemy will try to push you into impulsive decisions, will try to lead you into confusion. But you must trust in God's timing. You must trust that He will lead you step by step, and that His way is always the best way. Move only when He speaks, and move with full confidence that He will guide you through the spiritual storm that surrounds you. And remember this, chosen one. Your relationships are also a part of this divine protection. During this time, you must guard the people you allow into your inner circle. Surround yourself with those who will encourage your spiritual growth, those who will uplift you in prayer, those who will remind you of the promises of God, and those who will walk with you in obedience to His will. These are the people who will walk alongside you in this season of testing, and their influence will help to keep you grounded. But you must also be aware of those who might pull you away from the path. There will be voices, chosen one. Voices that speak words of fear, words of doubt, and words that distract you from your divine calling. You must recognize these voices for what they are, temptations to lead you away from God's will. Guard your relationships. Choose wisely those you listen to and those you allow to influence your thoughts and actions. This is not the time to entertain negative energy or distractions. This is the time to be intentional about the people you allow to speak into your life. Do not turn your head away from this truth, chosen one. You are in a time of divine protection, but it is only activated when you stay in alignment with God's will. This is a time of intense spiritual focus, a time where your decisions and actions will have profound consequences. God is calling you to stay hidden under His wings, to dwell in His presence, and to be alert to the dangers that surround you. His protection is there, but you must stay in the secret place of the Most High, continually submitting to His voice. The enemy will try to sway you, to lead you astray, to make you believe that you are alone, that God's protection is not enough. But this is a lie. God is with you, chosen one. He is watching over you, and His angels are encamped around you. Your job is to stay faithful, to stay aligned, and to remain in the protective embrace of His will. Stay vigilant, stay in prayer, stay close to God, for the protection that awaits you is not passive. It is a dynamic force that works only when you remain under His covering. God's protection is real, chosen one, but it is up to you to remain aligned with His plan and to choose to dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Take a moment, chosen one, and reflect on the depth of this message. You are not alone in this journey. God has already provided a path for you, and His protection is certain. But you must walk in obedience, guard your heart and mind, and stay aligned with His will. Your obedience today will shield you from what is coming. You are protected, chosen one, but only if you remain under His covering. I want to thank you, chosen one, for staying in this sacred space. Your presence here is not an accident. Your soul's resonance with this message is proof of the high vibration you carry, of the divine alignment you are walking in. This is a season of great testing, but it is also a season of great opportunity. You are being prepared for something extraordinary, and your faithfulness will open doors to divine breakthroughs. Now, let us anchor this energy into your life. Comment 777 or I am ready to declare your alignment with God's protection, to affirm your trust in His timing, and to walk in the fullness of His will. Victoria is already written, Chosen One. Now walk in it. Chosen One, listen closely, for I speak to you now of a power so profound, it has the ability to change the very fabric of your reality. Prayer. This sacred act of communication with the divine holds within it a force more powerful than any weapon of the earth. It is not merely a ritual, not just a fleeting moment of words whispered into the wind. No, Chosen One. Prayer is your weapon, your shield, your fortress in this season of testing. Do not scroll away now. Do not turn your head. Pay attention, because what I share with you in this moment is of the highest importance. This is not the time for casual prayer. This is not the time for a few quick words spoken in passing. God is calling you to a deeper, more focused prayer, an intense prayer that rises from the very core of your being, a prayer that burns with passion, that comes from a place of desperation for His will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. This is the kind of prayer that shifts realms, that opens doors of divine opportunity, and that moves heaven itself. In the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 40, Jesus, our Savior, our guide, warned His disciples, "Pray that you will not fall into temptation." The enemy, Chosen One, is always seeking an opening. He is ever watchful, looking for the weak spots in your spiritual armor, hoping that your attention will waver just for a moment. In this season, particularly as the days of July 9th and 10th approach, the enemy will try to provoke disobedience, doubt, and distraction. These 2 days are days of spiritual tension, days when the forces of darkness will try to breach your defenses and pull you from your divine purpose. But hear this, Chosen One. Your prayer will be the shield that protects you. Do not take this lightly. Your prayer must be intentional. It must be a prayer with purpose, a prayer filled with power and authority. You are being called into a season of spiritual warfare, and you cannot afford to pray half-heartedly. This is not the time for weak, distracted words. This is the time to pray with everything that is in you. Pray with the full force of your spirit. When you pray with purpose, when you pray with authority, you are building walls of protection around your soul. These walls are not made of bricks and mortar. They are made of faith, of trust in God's power, and of an unwavering belief that His will shall be done. Your prayer is what aligns you with God's divine plan. When you pray, you do not just speak words into the air, you shift the atmosphere. Your words carry weight, Chosen One. They are the key that unlocks divine intervention, the force that moves heaven's plans into action. But in order for your prayer to have this power, it must come from a place of surrender. You must submit yourself completely to God's will, trusting that His way is the only way. This is not the time to pray with your own desires, or to try to bend God's will to your own understanding. No, this is the time to pray with complete submission, to lay your heart before Him, and to trust that He knows the path that lies ahead. You must build a shield of prayer around you, Chosen One. Each prayer you speak is a layer of protection, a spiritual armor that deflects the attacks of the enemy. Your prayer creates a barrier that keeps doubt, fear, and temptation at bay. It keeps your mind focused on God's promises and aligns your spirit with His divine purpose. When you pray with authority, you are stepping into your rightful place as a child of God, and you are calling upon the full force of heaven to surround you, protect you, and guide you. Do not turn your head away, Chosen One. These days are spiritually significant, and your prayer during this time is more crucial than you can imagine. Every moment you spend in prayer, is an investment in your spiritual protection. It is a direct line to the divine, a way for you to tap into the power and wisdom that only God can provide. This is a time when you must be spiritually sharp, when you must keep your eyes fixed on His guidance. Your prayer will serve as your compass, your guide through the storm, ensuring that you remain aligned with God's will no matter what distractions arise. Now imagine yourself in the midst of this intense spiritual battle. The enemy is circling, waiting for an opening. He wants to pull you off course, to weaken your resolve, to cause you to doubt the path that God has set before you. But in this moment, your prayer becomes the weapon that fights back. Your words, spoken with intention and faith, become a sword that cuts through the enemy's schemes. Your prayer is the shield that protects you, the shield that will not falter, the shield that will not be broken. The enemy cannot withstand the power of prayer, chosen one. He cannot stand against the force of a prayer prayed in faith, with authority and trust in God's will. When you pray with intention, when you pray with purpose, you are declaring war against the forces that would seek to lead you astray. You are standing firm in your faith, standing tall in the knowledge that your God is greater than any force that might come against you. This is a call to action, chosen one. You must not wait for the storm to pass. You must pray now. You must pray with all your heart, with all your soul, with everything that is in you. The enemy is always looking for an opening, but your prayer will close every door he tries to open. Your prayer will keep you aligned with God's will, and it will carry you through these spiritually charged days. As you prepare for the days ahead, take a moment to reflect on the power of your prayer. This is not a time for passive faith, chosen one. This is the time for intense, focused prayer that rises from the depths of your soul. When you pray with purpose, when you pray with authority, you shift the atmosphere. You call upon heaven's resources to align with your spirit and to protect you from the forces that would try to lead you astray. Now, I want you to take a moment, chosen one, to anchor this truth into your life. You are called to pray with intention, to pray with purpose, to pray with authority. Comment 777 or I am ready to declare your commitment to this divine season of prayer. Let the universe hear your declaration that you will stand firm, that you will pray with a power that comes from God alone. Your prayer is your shield, and it will carry you through to the victory that God has already prepared for you. Do not waver, do not hesitate, for the power of your prayer is greater than you know. Keep reading, keep praying, and let the divine power of your prayer shape the destiny that awaits you. Chosen one, hear the call now, for you stand at the crossroads of destiny. The path before you is one of profound significance, and in these coming days, your decisions will shape the course of your spiritual journey. This is no ordinary moment. This is the hour of reckoning, the point at which the battle will be won or lost, not with strength, not with force, but with the quiet yet powerful force of obedience. Pay attention, chosen one, because this is where the true battle lies. Obedience is not passive. It is not a mere response to a command. It is an active force, a spiritual weapon that moves mountains and shakes the heavens. Obedience is not a simple act of following instructions. It is the very alignment of your soul with the divine will of God. And in this alignment, you tap into a power far greater than yourself. A power that can break chains, scatter the enemy's plans, and lead you into the fullness of your destiny. Do not skip this moment. Do not scroll away. For in the days to come, your obedience will be your greatest weapon. The enemy wants to deceive you into thinking that strength and might are the keys to victory. He will try to convince you that you must fight with your own hands, that you must rely on your own power to overcome the challenges before you. But, chosen one, this is not how victory is won. The battle is not won by might, nor by numbers. No, the battle is won by those who choose to obey God's voice, no matter the cost. It is in your obedience that you will find your strength, your protection, and your victory. Do not turn your head away, chosen one. The enemy will try to distract you, to lure you away from the divine path with the false promises of ease and comfort. He will whisper lies into your ears, telling you that your obedience is unnecessary, that your trust in God's plan is a foolish thing. But I tell you this, disobedience has consequences, and they are far more costly than any temporary comfort the enemy offers. But obedience carries life. It opens the doors to blessings, to divine favor, and to the protection that will shield you from every scheme the enemy attempts to lay before you. The road ahead may not always make sense. The path may seem unclear, the destination hidden behind the fog of uncertainty. But I ask you now, chosen one, will you obey even when it doesn't make sense? Will you trust in God's plan even when the world around you seems to crumble? When everything in your natural sight tells you to turn back? This is the test before you, the challenge that will determine whether you rise or fall, whether you walk into your divine destiny or remain lost in the wilderness of delay. Obedience is a choice, chosen one, and the choices you make now will echo throughout your future. These are days of testing, days that will test your spiritual resolve. The enemy will try to sway you, to push you off course, to make you doubt your purpose. But these days are not just about challenges, they are spiritual checkpoints. You are standing at the threshold of a great battle, a battle where your obedience will be the deciding factor. Will you remain faithful to God's voice, or will you delay, held back by fear or confusion? Keep reading, chosen one. Do not turn away now. The choices you make in this moment will determine what comes next. You are standing at the precipice of something great. The enemy will try to make you hesitate, to make you question if you are strong enough to move forward. But know this, your obedience is the key to unlocking the next chapter of your life. God has already prepared the way. He has already made provisions for your victory. But you must choose to walk in it. Obedience is not about perfection. It is not about having all the answers. It is about surrendering to the will of God, trusting that He knows the way, even when you cannot see it clearly. This is not the time for hesitation, for second-guessing, or for lingering in doubt. This is the time for action. The time to stand firm in the promises of God, to obey His voice with unwavering trust, no matter what lies ahead. And when you choose to obey, when you choose to align yourself with God's voice, you will walk into a season of victory. The doors that have been closed will swing open, and blessings will flow into your life, greater than you have ever imagined. The favor of God will surround you like a shield, and the enemy's plans will be scattered, rendered powerless by the force of your obedience. Do not doubt, chosen one, for the power of obedience is greater than any obstacle you face. Now, pause for a moment and reflect. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. The enemy will try to discourage you, to make you believe that obedience is too costly, too difficult. But hear me now. There is no cost greater than the blessings that await you on the other side of your obedience. Your obedience will carry you through the storm. It will guide you through the darkness. It will lead you to the place where you can fully step into the destiny that God has prepared for you. You are not alone in this journey, chosen one. Heaven is watching, and the angels are surrounding you, ready to protect and guide you. The question is not whether you are capable of obeying. It is whether you will choose to obey. The choice is yours. Will you stand firm in your faith, or will you hesitate? Will you walk in obedience, or will you delay? The battle is already won, chosen one. Victory is already written. But the question is, will you step into it with obedience, or will you allow fear and doubt to hold you back? Take a deep breath, chosen one, and feel the strength that rises from within you. You are capable of great things. Your obedience will pave the way for divine blessings. Choose to walk in that obedience. Let your actions speak louder than your fears. You were chosen for this moment. You were chosen for this battle. If you are ready to walk in obedience, to step into the victory that is already yours, comment 777 or I am ready to anchor this divine energy into your life. Your obedience will open doors, scatter the plans of the enemy, and lead you to the greatness that God has prepared for you. Keep reading, keep trusting, and keep obeying. Victory is already written. Now, walk in it. Chosen one, in this moment, you stand before a choice of profound significance. Do not scroll away. Do not turn your head. Pay attention, because this moment is not an accident. This moment is divinely appointed. The path you are about to walk, the decisions you make in the coming days, will shape the course of your life and the very fabric of your future. God has already equipped you for this season, for this very hour. You have been prepared, chosen, and marked for this time. The question before you, chosen one, is simple, yet monumental. Will you stand firm in your obedience? Will you trust God's voice? Will you walk through the spiritual thresholds of July 9th and 10th with confidence, with faith, and with unwavering trust in the divine plan He has laid out for you? Do not underestimate the weight of these days. These are not ordinary days, chosen one. These days are spiritually significant, saturated with divine power and purpose. Heaven has set them apart, and so must you. Every moment in these days carries the weight of eternity. These days will either propel you forward into your destiny or allow you to remain where you are, stagnant, waiting, wondering. The forces of heaven are aligned, waiting for you to step into your divine calling. But the decision lies in your hands. The question is not whether God will fulfill His promises. It is whether you will choose to align yourself with His will, whether you will step forward with trust and obedience, even when the way is unclear, even when the winds of doubt blow strong, even when the road seems difficult to follow. These days will test you, chosen one. They will challenge your faith. They will test your resolve. They will call you to rise to a higher level, to walk in deeper alignment with God's will. The days ahead will not be easy, but they are filled with unimaginable potential, and you have already been equipped with everything you need to walk through them. The divine armor has been placed upon you. The path has been prepared, and the strength you need to endure has already been given to you. This is the final choice, chosen one. Will you stand firm in obedience? Will you choose to walk in the protection that God has promised you? Will you let His voice lead you through this season, knowing that every step of obedience you take will carry you closer to your breakthrough, closer to your victory? As you move through this season, remember this: your obedience today will shape your tomorrow. Every act of faith, every step of trust, every moment of surrender will form the foundation of the future that awaits you. This is not just a test of strength. It is a test of trust, a test of whether you will place your faith in God's divine wisdom and timing, knowing that His plan is perfect. These are the days when the weight of the choices you make will be felt deeply in your spirit. You may not see the full picture now, but trust that God is aligning everything for your good. These moments of testing will propel you into a season of breakthrough and victory. If you choose to obey, if you choose to trust His plan, if you choose to stay aligned with His will. Do not turn your head away, chosen one. You are not here by accident. Your soul resonates with this truth because you are ready for this moment. This is your time to step into a new level of faith, to rise to the calling that has been placed on your life. It is not a question of if you are equipped. God has already prepared you. The only question now is whether you will trust Him enough to walk through the door He has opened for you. In this moment, let the weight of this truth sink into your heart. Your obedience will open the doors to blessings you cannot yet imagine. Your faith will lead you into the fullness of your purpose. But the choice is yours. Will you walk through the spiritual thresholds of July 9th and 10th, fully aligned with God's will? Will you trust His voice, even when the world around you seems uncertain? Will you remain under His protection, knowing that He has already gone before you and prepared the way? The choice is yours, chosen one. The path ahead is filled with potential, but it requires your obedience. Your faithfulness will carry you into a season of divine breakthrough. The enemy will try to sway you, to make you doubt, to pull you into distraction and disobedience. But you must stand firm. You must choose to remain aligned with God's voice. Trust in His plan, trust in His protection, trust in His timing. As you face this choice, know that you are not alone. Heaven is with you. The angels are watching over you, and the Spirit of God is guiding you. Your faith is the key to unlocking the door to your destiny. Keep reading, chosen one. Keep listening. The next step is yours to take. Will you trust God enough to walk through it? Let the weight of this truth sink into your soul. You were chosen for this moment, and you are ready for this challenge. Now step forward in faith. Step forward in obedience. Step forward into the victory that is already written for you. I want to thank you, chosen one, for staying with me in this sacred space. Your presence here is not an accident. It is a sign of the high vibration you carry, the immense merit of your soul, and the readiness of your spirit to embrace the destiny that God has set before you. Now I ask you, chosen one, if you are ready to walk through the threshold of divine breakthrough, if you are ready to step into your calling with confidence and faith, comment 777 or I am ready to anchor this divine energy into your life. Your victory is written. Your obedience will bring it to fruition. Keep walking, keep trusting, and keep obeying. The victory